How many times have you hesitated to do something not because you didn't want to or because it wasn't the right move, but because you were afraid of what people might think? Maybe you held back from speaking up in a meeting. Maybe you didn't post something because you were worried about how it would be received. Maybe you stayed in a situation longer than you should have because the thought of people judging you for leaving felt worse than staying back. It happens to all of us, but here's the question. Whose approval are you living for? Hey, I'm Josh Taylor, and welcome to the Next Right Question podcast. Today, we're talking about how to stop letting other people's opinions control you, how to stop making decisions based on approval and start living in alignment with your own values and purpose. If you've ever held back, if you've ever played it safe to avoid judgment, or if you've ever let the fear of disappointing people stop you from doing what you know you need to do, this episode is for you. I used to let other people's opinions guide my decisions more than I'd really like to admit. Honestly, it's still a struggle sometimes. I second-guess myself, wondering what people would think if I took a risk, if I pivoted, if I stepped into something new. I hesitate on posting things because I'm worried about how it would be received. I catch myself making choices that weren't fully mine. They were shaped by what I thought other people expected of me. But here's what I'm learning. You can't build a life you love if you're being controlled by what other people think. Because no matter what you do, someone will have an opinion. Someone will misunderstand and someone will disapprove. But at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with your decisions, not them. So why do we care so much about other people's opinions? I think it comes down to three things. First, we want to belong. As humans, we're wired for connection. We want to be accepted, liked, and part of something bigger than ourselves. And sometimes that need for belonging makes us compromise what we really want just to fit in. Second, we don't want to disappoint people. Maybe you've made decisions based on what your family expects or your friends think you should do. But at some point, you have to ask, am I living for their approval or my purpose? And third, we overestimate how much people actually care. The truth is, people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. Most of the time, people are too busy thinking about themselves to analyze every decision that you're making. And here's the reality. The people who judge you the most, they're usually the ones too scared to take action in their own lives. So how do you stop letting other people's opinions control you? Well, here are three shifts that have helped me. First, make peace with being misunderstood. No matter what you do, someone won't get it. Someone will disagree. Someone will have something to say. Let them misunderstand you. It's not your job to explain yourself to everyone. Second, decide whose opinion actually matters. Not all feedback is created equal. The opinions that matter most should come from people who know you, want the best for you, and have experience in what you're trying to do. If someone wouldn't trade places with you, don't take their advice on how to live your life. And third, focus on what you'll regret. At the end of your life, will you wish you had spent more time making sure no one was disappointed? Or will you wish you had lived fully, taken risks, and done the things you actually wanted to do? The pain of regret is always worse than the pain of being judged. And here's something that I have to remind myself of often. The people who judge you today will forget about it tomorrow. But the life you build, the choices you make, the risks that you take, the steps you don't take, those are what you'll have to live with. So who are you living for? Are you making choices based on what you want? Or are you letting other people's expectations run the show? Because the moment you stop looking for approval is the moment you actually start living. And that's where real freedom begins. So here's my challenge for you this week. Think about one decision, one action, one area of your life where you have been playing it safe. Not because it's what you truly want, but because you're afraid of what other people might think. And now ask yourself, if no one else's opinion mattered, what would I do? And then do it. Because the people who live the most fulfilling lives aren't the ones who avoided judgment. They're the ones who had the courage to live life on their own terms. If this episode spoke to you, send me a message or leave a comment below. What's one area where you're choosing to let go of other people's opinions? And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, because new episodes drop every Friday morning, and I'll be here to help you ask better questions and take meaningful steps forward. So until next time, stay bold, stay true to yourself, and remember, you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to ask the next right question.